Let me tell you a secret. Toxic people don't leave your life when you confront them. They leave your life when you evolve beyond them. This isn't about revenge. It's about rising. Because there's one shift, one action, one deep decision you can make. And if you truly make it, you'll never have to deal with toxic people the same way again. Welcome to the Wisdom Spark, a space for those who are ready to stop surviving and start living in clarity, strength, and unshakable peace. Let's begin. Before we dive into what you need to do, let's talk about why toxic people enter your life in the first place. It's not random, it's energetic. The truth is, every relationship you experience is a reflection, not of who you want to be, but of who you are currently being. Now, this doesn't mean you deserve the abuse, manipulation, or drama. No one deserves that. But it does mean that on some level, your energy, your unhealed wounds, or your lack of boundaries allowed access. Think of life like a radio. Whatever frequency you're tuned into determines what you hear. And most people don't even realize that the energy they project, uncertainty, people-pleasing, fear of abandonment, attracts those who feed on it. Toxic people sense emotional openings the way predators sense weakness. They don't look for power, they look for confusion disguised as kindness. They are drawn not to your light, but to the cracks in it. So the real question is not, how do I stop toxic people, but how do I stop attracting them? And the answer begins with alignment. There's a concept in psychology and neuroscience known as coherence, a state where your thoughts, emotions, and actions are aligned. When you live in coherence, your body calms down, your decisions become clear, and most importantly, your energy becomes clean. Why is this important? Because toxic people thrive in the space between your words and your actions. They flourish when you say, I want peace, but keep texting back when they start chaos. They stay when you say, I'm done, but still explain yourself over and over. But when your actions align with your values, when your behavior matches your boundaries, something magical happens. Your energy no longer gives mixed signals. You become internally consistent. And when you're internally consistent, you stop attracting external conflict. Let me give you an example. There's a woman, we'll call her Sarah. She used to be a chronic over-explainer. Anytime someone doubted her, she felt the need to justify, to argue, to prove. Especially with toxic friends or exes, she'd say, I'm done, and then send a 5-paragraph message explaining why. One day, she tried something new. She got quiet. She didn't explain. She didn't defend. She just stopped responding. She journaled instead. She went for a walk. She listened to her own heart instead of reacting to the noise. That small act of alignment, not reacting, changed her life. Because silence, when used with integrity, is louder than words. Sarah didn't need to fight for peace anymore. She embodied it. Now we come to the core teaching of this speech. The thing you do once, the moment that becomes a turning point, here it is. You decide that your peace is more important than anyone's opinion of you. That's one powerful, soul-deep decision, not just a mental thought, not a wish, but a decision backed by action, a decision backed by boundaries, a decision backed by stillness. This means you stop explaining your boundaries, you stop engaging in emotional tug-of-wars, you stop playing therapist to people who don't want healing. You stop hoping they'll change. You stop participating in cycles that steal your energy. Instead, you do the work of inner alignment. You meditate, you breathe, you write, you walk. You surround yourself with people who water your growth. You commit to healing the parts of you that allowed that chaos in the first place. Because when your nervous system learns that it no longer has to survive around toxic energy, it begins to build something rare, safety from within. This shift, when made once and truly, sends out a signal to the universe. It says, I no longer welcome disrespect. I no longer engage with dysfunction. I am not here to fix or carry anyone's brokenness. I am here to grow. And when you hold that energy long enough, the people who can't thrive in peace will remove themselves. You don't push them away. You rise beyond them. Let's bring in some neuroscience. Every time you take an action that aligns with your values, even something small like not replying to a drama-filled message, your brain rewards you. A little hit of dopamine, a signal of success. This is how self-trust is built, not through big speeches, not through confrontation, but through quiet, consistent decisions that prove you respect yourself. This is how identity shifts. You don't become strong by saying, I'm strong. You become strong by choosing actions that match your strength. So when you ignore that toxic bait, when you go for a walk instead of reacting, when you meditate instead of lashing out, when you choose stillness instead of chaos, you are rewiring your brain. You are healing your nervous system. You are becoming someone who can no longer be disturbed by petty, dramatic energy, and that is power. Remember, toxic people thrive in your inconsistency. When you remove inconsistency, you remove their power. Here's a powerful truth. You don't need to tell people you've changed, just change. The people meant for you will feel the shift and rise with you. The ones who aren't, they'll drift away because they can't breathe in your new atmosphere of peace. So stop trying to convince people that you've evolved. Stop begging them to see your value. Stop explaining why you need boundaries. Just embody the new you. Let your silence speak. Let your energy speak. Let your joy, your clarity, your peace speak for you. Let me give you one more example. There was a man named Elias. Years of trying to fix people, being the emotional dumping ground for everyone around him. He was burned out, resentful, angry. He decided one day, not with loud words, but quiet power, that he would no longer entertain what drains him. He blocked a few people. He stopped apologizing for resting. He built a morning routine. He read books on self-worth. He didn't post about it. He didn't make a scene. And guess what? In 6 months, the people around him changed. Not because he forced them to, but because his vibration no longer matched dysfunction. When you evolve, your environment evolves. If you take away one thing from this video, let it be this. You don't have to fight for your peace. You just have to stop entertaining what disturbs it. The most powerful version of you is the one who no longer needs to react, to argue, or to explain. You just live so fully in alignment with your truth that even your silence is transformational. So, here's your challenge from the Wisdom Spark. Take one action today that aligns you. Journal your thoughts instead of arguing. Say no without an explanation. Spend 10 minutes in silence with yourself. Breathe, reflect. Honor your space, then comment below, I choose peace. Let others know that you're no longer living for chaos, but for clarity, that you're not stuck. You're evolving. And if you found value here, subscribe to the Wisdom Spark, where we don't just speak wisdom, we live it. Because here, we're not just building an audience, we're building a movement of aligned, grounded, self-empowered souls. Let the world hear your silence, let them feel your evolution, and never let toxic energy disturb your peace again.